All right.
Do we want to have someone in the audience test it?
Yeah, I need someone who has a connection to check to see if the feed is going through. It may be delayed up to a minute. But that is the right URL, that's the one that you... Okay, that says live, so, like I said, it may take up to a minute to actually start broadcasting, so let's see, let's give it a little bit more time.
Okay.
According to this, we're broadcasting.
Okay.
What?
Offline?
No, I'm. I see you guys.
And she's moving?
Yep.
And she's moving.
All right.
It's a little bit behind what you're actually doing, but yeah, it's up.
Well, yeah, it always is. It's between 45 seconds and a minute behind fairly consistently.
Okay, let's start the show.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
In 3 days, it's going to be International Talk Like Robert Newton Day.
I thought it was International Talk in Somali Day.
That you could do that too.
So there will be seafaring songs, but we're going to start off with a trickster song. This is 100 Shades of Black. Raven, find me shiny and take me back to your nest. I live with half a mystery and I need to know the rest. Tell me all your riddles and I'll tell you all my lies. Teach me to be wicked till I'm wise. At night I dream of feathers in 100 shades of black, and I wake up feeling like the wings were torn off of my back. So I would make a bargain with the Lord of Tricks and Chance, and if I survive you'll show me how to dance. Raven, find me shiny and take me up in your beak. You're good at finding secrets, but you will not find me weak. Tell me all your riddles and I'll answer them with scars, and the magic of the junkyards and the bars. At night I dream of wings that spread to cover half the sky, and I wake up full of anger and I cannot tell you why. So I would make a bargain with the one I cannot trust, because I'm good at finding treasure in the dust. Raven, find me shiny underneath the rust and mud. Teach me all the languages that whisper in my blood. Tell me all your riddles and I'll try to guess them right. Drop me into my memories of flight. Tell me all your riddles and I'll tell you all my lies. Teach me to be wicked till I'm wise. All right.
So I figured I'd get into the Aquarian part of the sets tonight pretty quickly.
Is this a traditional, as in no one knows who wrote it?
No one knows who wrote it. I actually did the research on this to see if I should put it on my next album of non-filky music or my actual covers album, and I could not find an attribution for it, so it goes on the next album of non-filky music.
Okay. Do we know when it dates to?
At least the late 18th century.
Wow.
Yes. That is the earliest recording of it, or the earliest mention of it that I could find was
Cool.
Was the late 18th century.
So this is The Mermaid. 'Twas Friday morning we set sail, and we were not far from the land. Our captain did spy a mermaid so fair, with a comb and a glass in her hand. And the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the captain of our gallant ship, and a fine old man was he. This fishy mermaid has told me of our doom. We shall sink to the bottom of the sea, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the mate of our gallant ship, and a fine strapping lad was he. He said, I've a wife in Brooklyn by the sea, tonight a widow she will be, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the cook of our gallant ship, and a crazy old butcher was he. I care much more for my pots and my pans than I do for the bottom of the sea, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. Then up spoke the mute of our gallant ship, and a fine young mute was he. He said, and we sank to the bottom of the sea, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while landlubbers lie down below, 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 while landlubbers lie down below. 3 times around spun our gallant ship, and 3 times around spun she. 3 times around spun our gallant ship, and she sank to the bottom of the sea, and the ocean waves do roll, and the stormy winds do blow, and we poor sailors are skipping at the top, while landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below, 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 while the landlubbers lie down below. I'm actually going to put this back down on the floor because it's blowing my hair into my mouth.
That doesn't sound good.
It's really not attractive when the singer goes, while the landlubber's life down below.
That's what's in my way.
You know, that would be the little-known sixth drummer of Spinal Tap who died from hair inhalation.
I don't know that it existed, but it should have.
So here's one from back in the 90s. This is one of my classic shiny, happy songs about romantic love. It's called The Sleep of Reason. Hello, I am waking from the sleep of reason. It slides in slick as you please with the faintest taste of recreationals. Hello, I am waking from a dream of the senses. The taste was not as good as the tease, and the land was ugly where the map was beautiful. I'm awake and the world has got sharp edges, but I myself am not exactly dull. I'm awake and the world has got no mercy, but I myself am somewhat less than merciful, because some things have never been negotiable. Hello, I'm throwing up the poisonous candy. Yes, I swallowed it voluntarily, 'cause it tasted so like memory. Hello, I'm dining on cold consequences. Boy, don't talk to me about sin. Why did I let trash like you in? Oh, you can talk about redemption if you like the sound of your own lies. You can try to sell me anything, but you are not coming home again. You can talk about redemption if you like the sound of your own lies. You can try to sell me anything, but you are not coming home. Hello, I've been talking with the ghost in the mirror. She knows too much about suffering, but she does not surrender for anything. Hello, I've learned a little too much about you. It feels sticky like incest. It feels sick like my past. I'm awake and the world stinks of corruption, but I myself am somewhat less than pure. I'm awake and the world is all uncertainty, but I myself am not exactly sure. Not about your sickness, boy, but about the nature of the cure. Oh, you can talk about redemption if you like the sound of your own lies. You can try to sell me anything, but you are not coming home again. You can talk about redemption if you like the sound of your own lies. You can try to sell me anything, but you are not coming home. Hello.
Here is something that all sailors fear. Thunder rolling and the smell of rain. Creeps in through my open window. Mixing with the incense and the pain, drifting through the air. You're singing songs and writing poetry, while staring through an open gateway. Kind of angel speaking prophecy is standing there. Does anyone choose they want to see? Does anyone know what they want to be? Has anyone figured out that this is probably hell? Does anyone know what it takes to fly? Does anyone know how it feels to cry? How can anyone buy what no one's willing to sell? Lightning arcs its way across the sky. Tossing shadows through my window. I'm grinning like a fool, I don't know why. Tears streaming down. You raise your voices in a joyous noise, so beautiful I have to listen. It turns a dagger in my heart and loins. What a splendid sound. Does anyone choose they want to hear? Does anyone know how to deal with fear? Has anyone figured out we're more than likely insane? Does anyone know what it takes to pray? Is anybody listening anyway? How can anyone stay through all this pleasure and pain? Does anyone choose they want to see? Does anyone know what they want to be? Has anyone figured out that no one's lifting the veil? Does anyone know what it takes to fly? Does anyone know how it feels to die? How can anyone try when we're destined to fail? On the recording of that on my second album, Mirrors, my lead guitarist, who was also my producer and my sound engineer, Steve Langdon, put in just a little bit that's in the background. You can't quite hear it, but if you listen carefully, it's da, 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 da. Right at the end. I thought that was brilliant.
This is Pilgrimage Road. It's on my album Live at Lestat's. I'm following a trail of bloody footprints down a pilgrimage road that's paved in bone. And they fit my feet exactly just as though they were my own. When a woman is hurting past her power to express, the men around her like to tell her that she's just insane, because their world would crack if they recognized the measure of her pain. Stealing my body back, grain by grain, from hateful lovers and dishonorable thieves. There is a power on the other side of pain. pain that still believes. That still believes. I've been the vessel men break open out of hunger. I've been the vessel men break into out of hate. And though they weigh me down with sorrow, I continue standing straight. I am as ugly as the honest fucking dirt beneath your feet, but I contain all the beauty of the day, and I am building something nobody can ever take away. I am stealing my story back, line by line, from the deceivers and the men with bloody hands. There is a power on the other side of pain that understands. That understands. Out of the ache of my defiance, there comes a truth much stronger than the truth of death. And I am just that force's instrument of breath and flesh and blood and bone, and stolen fire and things no man can ever own, beneath the roots of gods and cities, curled like a sleeping child at the heart of the world. The serpent's daughter knows the scar at the center of each pearl. Back at the source of holy stories, where humans made themselves out of what came before. I was the heat behind the virgin and the light behind the whore. Stealing my churches back, stone by stone, from those who tore them down and covered them with shame. There is a power on the other side of pain that knows my name. That knows my name. Yeah, that one came out of Ishtar as she appeared in Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
All right, it's time to drink.
And sing along.
Hang on. We're not quite that drunk.
The guitar has been drinking, not me.
There you are, you bastard. I just washed my mouth and can't do a thing with it. Some friends and I in a public house were playing dominoes one night. Went into the room, the barman came, his face all chalky white. What's up, says Brown, have you seen a ghost? Have you seen your Aunt Mariah? Oh, my Aunt Mariah be buggered, said he. The bloody pub's on fire. On fire, says Brown, what a bit of luck. Everybody follow me. Down to the cellar, if the fire's not there, we'll have a railroad spree. So we all went down after good old Brown, and there the booze was free. And we weren't there 5 minutes before were drunk and disorderly. And there was Brown, upside down, lapping up the whiskey on the floor. Buzz, buzz, the fireman cried as they came knocking at the door. Don't let them in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. McIntyre! And we all got stone blind, paralytic, drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Then Smith went over to the port wine tub, gave it a few hard knocks, started taking off his pantaloons likewise his shoes and socks. Hold up, says Brown, we can't have that, you can't do that in here. Don't go washing your trotters in the good port wine when there's plenty of Miller beer. And there was Brown, upside down, lapping up the whiskey on the floor. Buzz, buzz, a fireman cried as they came knocking at the door. Don't let them in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. McIntyre! And we all got stone blind, paralytic, drunk when the old dun cow caught fire. Well, soon there came an awful crash. Half the bloody roof gave way. We were drowned in the fireman's hose, but we were going to stay. So we got some slats and some old tin tacks, and we nailed ourselves inside. And we sat there swallowing pints of stout until the floor joists above us ignited and the fire sucked all the oxygen out of the room, and we died. And there was Brown, upside down, lapping up the whiskey on the floor. Buzz, buzz, a fireman cried as they came knocking at the door. Don't let them in till it's all mopped up. Somebody shouted McIntyre. McIntyre! And we all got stone blind, paralytic, drunk when the old dun cow caught fire.
I like your alternate ending there. Which leaves a shitload of ghosts drinking.
Of course. They built the next pub on the site, and they've got the perpetual ghost party in the basement. With Brown hanging upside down from the rafters, licking up spectral whiskey from the floor.
You don't want to slip on that.
No.
You really don't. But it would help with the Miller cell. Yeah.
Oh, this is one where I have no part. Do
Go sit down and relax.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Here's another shiny, happy song about romantic love. This one's from 10 years ago. It's called Crooked Hand. He was the bridge to the other side, and the country where the roads descend to the shining city on the shore, where miracles don't happen anymore. He could not heal my crooked hand, though he loved me with his crooked heart. That's how I came to understand, by crooked fits and crooked starts. There is no messenger of grace. There is no shortcut to the throne. The kingdom wears a human face. I have to get there on my own. Though is still there. His congregation's empty air. The statue has a wound that bleeds, but it's blood that no one needs. He could not save my crooked soul, though he kissed me with his crooked mouth. I believed that he could make me whole, from twisted north to broken south. But he was only there to save himself, see himself reflected in my face. I could have been anybody else to help him forget his fall from grace. There is a reliquary bust, long forgotten deep in dust. And if his stories are still told, they're nothing but fool's gold. He could not ease my crooked pain, though he held me in his crooked arms. And in a whisper like the rain, he swore to keep me safe from harm. But he was only telling lies, promising gifts he could not give. He could not make me well or wise. He could not teach me how to live. We all live in a crooked house. We all walk down a crooked road, on through the storm and through the drought. Our backs bent down beneath our load. There is no power beneath the sun that can make us not be what we are. We learn each time we come undone, grow wiser with each crooked scar. And the only answer I understand is in my empty crooked hand. And I've done the solos on this one, so.
This one is actually about a pirate, though. Okay, I don't have the nails to fingerpick this.
Strum it? Yep. Where's my pick?
What brings you out so far? Said the man dressed in brown. I've come for one of yours, said the king's faithful hound. And I'm bound where you're bound, and I'll run you to the ground. I've come for one of yours, said the king's faithful hound. Surrender her to me, said the king's faithful hound. Not a wildest breath in me, said the man dressed in brown. For we're bound, where we're bound, though the dangers be profound. Not wildest breath in me, said the man dressed in brown. How will you fight on land, said the king's faithful hound. With a pistol in my hand, said the man dressed in brown. And the sound will resound, just as when we stood our ground. With a pistol in my hand, said the man dressed in brown. How will you fight in the black, said the king's faithful hound. With a good crew at my back, said the man dressed in brown. 'Cause what we've found will rebound on the conscience of the crown. With a good crew at my back, said the man dressed in brown. Methinks I hear a wave, said the king's faithful hound. It's a signal from your grave, said the man dressed in brown. And the hound then stood down, with a sigh he turned around. There's nothing left to save, said the king's former hound. Thank you. Gotta remember, don't trim the nails on this hand.
That's based on an old English ballad called The False Knight on the Road. And it's call and response between a figure that is probably meant to be the devil and a young schoolboy. This particular arrangement we got from Steel Eye Span, who are just made of awesome generally.
Oh, definitely. Now, most of us in this room are not, in fact, pirates. I would say all of us, but, you know, sometimes you don't know someone as well as you think you do.
There's a lot of Engleharts in here.
But a lot of us play pirates in role-playing games.
Hell yes!
Therefore, this song.
That was a game?
Robert just thought it was a really realistic LARP. And then the other ship sinking was all special effects. We roll the dice, we cut the cards, don't think it's all we're doing. This is the oldest magic, drums around the tribal fire. We bleed for stories and we make them come alive and breathing. We're weaving tapestries of danger and desire. You can call us children, you can call us fools, but you choose to live in a world with one set of rules. You can say we're devils, throw our books on the fire. If your heart's too small to handle danger and desire. If your heart's too small to handle danger and desire. You see us moving little men across the kitchen table. Laugh if you must, but we know every one of them by name. Forged in the heart of childhood, wakened with a living language. They're ready to die for dreams of honor and of fame. You can call us children, you can call us fools, but you choose to live in a world with one set of rules. You can say we're devils, throw our books on the fire. If your heart's too small to handle danger and desire. If your heart's too small to handle danger and desire. Out in the wood between the worlds we spread our picnic blanket. We cross the gates of wonder, dancing on a burning wire. And in the living room our circle opens up the gateway to shining cities built of danger and desire. You can call us children, you can call us fools, but you choose to live in a world with one set of rules. You can say we're devils, throw our books on the fire. If your heart's too small to handle danger and desire. If your heart's too small to handle danger and desire.
And now we have another, well, I don't know if this one's traditional or not. I couldn't find any attribution for it, but oh, all you dryland sailors, come and listen to me song. It's only 40 verses, so I shan't detain you long. It's all about the adventures of this poor Lisbon tar, who sailed as the man before the mast on the good ship Calabar. Oh well, the Calabar's a spanking ship, and she's buttoned fore and aft. Her helmet stuck out far behind, and her wheel was a great big shaft. With half the gale to fill her sails, she'd do a knot per hour. She's the fastest ship on the Ligon Canal, and she's only 1 horsepower. Oh, the captain was a strapping lad, and he stood but 4'2". His eyes were red, and his nose was green, and his cheeks were Prussian blue. He wore a leather medal that he won in the Crimea War, and the captain's wife was the passenger cook on the good ship Calabar. Oh, the captain says to me, my lad, looks here, my lad, says he, which is likes to be a sailor in sailor agency, which is likes to be a sailor some foreign shores to roll. Well, this ship's headed to Posey Town with a half a ton of coal. 'Twas early next morning, the weather being so blind. While passing by the old Queen Bridge, we heard the Albert chime. We were going along by the Gasworks Straits, a very dangerous part. Oh, when we ran aground on a lump of coal that wasn't marked down on the charts. Well, all became confusion, and the stormy winds did blow. The boatswain slipped on an orange peel and fell into the hold below. Put on more speed, the captain cried, for we are sorely pressed. But the engineer from the bank replied, "The horse is doing his best." Oh, we all fell in the water and we all let out a roar. There was an old farmer standing there, and he threw us the ends of his galluses and pulled us all to shore. No more I'll be a sailor and sail the raging main. And the next time I go to Poseytone, I'll go by the bloody train.
I'm glad next month is October and we'll be doing our songs about monsters and the supernatural.
Yay!
Because this set turned out to be a little heavy on the shiny, happy songs about romantic love. Yeah, you'd think I was a normal singer-songwriter guitarist. So this is called Dangerous Like Wonder, and it dates to late 90s. It's almost 20 years old. In the lens of his hunger, I got larger than life. He was dangerous like wonder and lovely like a knife. But I have learned that there are weapons in this world that I am always going to pick up by the blade. I think I've had my fill of dangerous treasure. Time to think about the choices I've made. It's gonna be a long, hard road back home now. I've traveled far afield among strangers, but I am old enough to pray, Lord, lead me not into danger, danger. Slammed into resistance. I've hit trouble and strife, but I'm still running down that dangerous distance between here and the rest of my life. I have sailed through storms that beggar all description, steering by the stars when all my maps were wrong. From a dangerous direction, but I'm hoping to reach harbor by dawn. God has always said, take what you want to, child, but now you have to pay whatever I charge. Why are you chasing what's larger than life now? Life itself is pretty damn large. In the lens of his hunger, I burned so brightly I charred. It was the undertow that pulled me so far under that I had to bring myself back to the surface by my scars. I have chased after every flavor of salvation from the awful work of looking at myself. I have thrown up so much of dangerous distillation. I think it's time to leave that bottle on the shelf. It's gonna be a long, hard road back home now. I've traveled far afield among strangers, but I am old enough to pray, Lord, lead me not into danger, danger. Take what you want to, child, but now you have to pay whatever I charge. Why are you chasing what's larger than life now? Life itself is pretty damn large. In the lens of his hunger, I got lot larger than life. But I think I'll let somebody stronger and younger try to be a dangerous man's wife. It's got a storm, drinking, and knives in it. I suppose it does kind of qualify as piratey.
Well, this song is very piratey.
This came out of a role-playing campaign and a lot of drinking. It's technically a filk. It goes to the tune of the wheels on the bus go round and round, because pirates don't have a large musical education.
We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die. Oh, we're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die. Oh, the cook bought the rum and he has the box. He uses the rum to wash out his socks. And when we have drunk it, we'll lie in a box. We're all gonna drink rum and die. We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die.
Well, the rum that we bought cost us deep in the purse. It went down real rough and it came up far worse. And when we have drunk it, we'll ride in a hearse. We're all gonna drink rum and die.
We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die. Oh, the rum when we spill it eats right through the wood. The cook says that's how we can tell that it's good. When we save our poor ship, we drank all that we could. We're all gonna drink rum and die. We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die.
A bugger now dead lost a vat off the side. It poisoned the water and all the fish died. When it eats through the hole, we'll be lost in the tide. We're all gonna drink rum and die.
We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die. Oh, you won't find this rum in a landlubber's bar. Our rum is as tasty as vomit and tar. It's drinking, it makes us as mean as we are. We're all gonna drink rum and die. We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die.
The cook keeps the rum in a big iron vat. A rat was flung into it by the ship's cat. The cook said,
there's plenty of flavor in that. We're all gonna drink rum and die. We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die. Oh, we had us a bottle of Portuguese wine. The gentleman drank it and thought it was fine. We pitched them all over to swim in the brine. We're all gonna drink rum and die. We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die.
A bartender gave us a bottle of gin, the milk of the British and truly a sin. So we burned down his bar and we stove his head in.
We're all gonna drink rum and die. Oh, we're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die. And the obligatory last verse is sung in drunkies. We're all gonna drink rum and die. We're all gonna drink rum and die, me lads. We're all gonna drink rum and die. I spilled me water. Oh well. That's always rum.
Why is all the rum gone?
Oh, that's why. I actually experienced that once. I was at a campfire and at an SCA event, and I was drinking, and I felt fine. I didn't feel drunk. I didn't feel woozy. I didn't feel tipsy. I didn't feel impaired. And I got up, and the four giants holding up the corners of the world started doing this. And I went, oh, shit.
Is that how your legs work?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you should never mix liquors, but here's some whiskey to follow the rum. Oh, capo.
Capo.
Capo. You wicked old wanderer with your crazy wisdom and your culture jamming. I've seen you dance with the devil underneath the bloody moon. I've loved you cast-off boys and the girls that you made out of willow branches. And I'll catch up with you at the next saloon. I've known you by 8 legs and your long and twitchy ears. I've known you by black feathers on the paws that lope through years. Tip back your old red hat and let's have a couple more beers to chase that whiskey jack on down. Hey, tricky old traveler with your monkey's paw and your hand of glory, I've seen your snaky eyes when you roll dead stories' bones. I've loved your broken toys and the girls that you made out of folded paper. God, like you shouldn't have to drink alone. I bet on all your ponies and I lost my heart and shirt, but I won a Mercury dime and a pinch of graveyard dirt. Crack another bottle, old friend, for it surely couldn't hurt to chase that whiskey jack on down. I'm a Widdershins Wednesday's child and I'm following whiskey jack down. I dress in ribbons and rags and I wanna wear a junkyard crown. I have been dancing with misfortune since the day that I was born, and it's got a pretty good beat, so come on, take my hand. Hey, clever old carny man with your rhinestone rubies and your silver dollar, I've seen you playing poker with a deck of stolen memes. I've loved your razor laugh and the marks that you leave on the high and humble. Let's slip out the back, we can get away clean. I wanna lift my glass with the lord of theft and trickery, kick up my heels with the king of the crazy and the free. It's a long and crooked road, would you like a little company to chase that whiskey jack on down? I'm a thaumaturge Thursday's child and I'm following whiskey jack down. I speak in riddles and lines and I wanna wear a junkyard crown. I have been dancing with disorder since the day that I was born, and it's got a pretty good beat, so come on, take my hand. Hey, wicked old wanderer with your monkey's paw and your hand of glory, let's chase that whiskey jack on down. All right, that concludes set one. We're going to take a brief break.
Very brief, because we
Are
are at 7 o'clock right now, so
Okay.
let's try to be back here by 7:05.
Here, Kipple.
Thank you.
There will be more awesome in references and seafaring stuff.
And more Firefly.
Woohoo! And some Star Trek. Woohoo! With drinking in it.
Oh, even better.
Sorry, Doc.
And I have CDs, actually we both have CDs for sale back here, and I have t-shirts for sale back here. And they got a new plasma ball that actually works.
Woohoo!
It's been turned up to 11, too. Previously, the one they had before was getting extremely windy. It wasn't even forming the conduit unless somebody touched it.
Yeah.
Or it might be a nifty thing to have up on stage. You're going to be on it. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I've edited every other track. But you haven't told me
We came up with people that you think you
But
appreciate.
I didn't know it was pneumonia until last night.
I have to
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Now you tell me you got pneumonia. Now everybody says you were sick. I
It needs to
know.
die in fire.
That certainly
Yes.
explains the whole.
He said it needs to die in fire. what
Because
Sidney
considering possibly the character for me,
So now we're going to
great.
She's got rivals, you know.
She said I was starting to try to Wonder Woman. Now we're trying to justice.
It would be fun.
That doesn't work, we're trying for Ragnarok.
Hey,
Yes.
and to really screw with people, go to life harmony.
They actually have a picture of Amora.
My children
Amora is in the movie.
fireworks.
Oh, okay, the comic.
I spin fire. Since you pointed out to me what fire does to
Yeah. And fairly you are the female villains.
Yeah.
That's always
We had moved last
Or be a true
I remember even having more or less. And then my parents had to move out of the house they've been in for 13
I actually have serious
And they did that in an extremely short time.
exactly.
But about the same time,
So
they
it's one of
decided
those
to sell the house they'd been in for 30-something years. And they had to be out of it by June 1st. And they just recently
Which gives me the pirates and trading skills.
Play your characters.
So essentially, like,
It's easy enough to get in my. It's actually easy enough to get Kate Bishop.
Everyone were related to you.
Captain Marvel.
yes, and so
Either one is fine, but one or the other, not the helmet.
Yes, I know. And no makeup on it. But you know what is so weak. I'm so ashamed of myself.
Why is Captain Marvel?
Yeah, I still think we should do that. We only have a few more games at the end of this. And this game was actually
A fire spinning vampire. Fire spinning vampire, I love it. Also trained in my choice of tool.
I have no idea. My mother died for me because her mother's house in Florida is
That way,
always
when
had
they do go
manatees in the
off the
backyard.
hill because of the fire,
I
I can send them
now, wow, in Florida.
with the fire.
I swam with them once. It was very nice.
Absolutely.
Well, they weren't that fond of me.
Thank
They
you.
just sort of kept going. It was like trying to make friends with boulders. Moving boulders.
Remember to go through my grade.
worse frenzy. You're either running away from it, or you're just
No,
No, I think the one person there that was actively staying in touch with mom is the one who died.
never had to deal with that?
And everybody's a little more concerned with mom and now with Dan, the people who are, whose life is in the funeral. And the only news I know of from down there in Florida is Martin with cancer.
Yes.
And Ted falling apart over it, so.
A rubber band and a pen.
As one would expect.
Right.
But he's the old one.
well, I thought that we actually have somebody in Florida. So I was one of those husbands that popped out of the woodwork after I turned 18.
Where
So
Ollie uses that trick.
it's all kind of like,
A rubber band and a
Well, he's
pen.
got one
And
in
he manages
New
to take
Mexico
somebody out that
and
way.
one in
When he had his
St. Louis,
bow
I
and arrow
think.
taken.
So his two kids are nowhere near.
well, and then of course, I've got a couple of friends who moved to Florida years ago. The problem is I haven't heard from either one of them since. Did this happen?
But the really crazy part of the family in Florida, I have no
But I
idea
think
what's
we
going
need to
on.
get back on stage.
Yeah.
I had a friend request from one of those cousins and I ignored it. And
There were oranges.
nope, you've been in jail for weapons charges, I'm not gonna put you on.
The oranges in the New World in Thea too. I think the bosun's going to be in trouble.
Would somebody please check the live stream again and make sure it's still working? You should see an empty stage right now.
Not anymore.
Hold on.
Oh, thank you for refreshing the water. That was did my sweetie do that?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sweetie, for refreshing the water.
You're welcome.
Is the live stream still going, guys?
That's what I'm checking.
Okay.
Checking. What's the link?
youtube.com/user/evanbrooks/live.
You're good.
Okay, good.
We're going to open up with something that isn't piratey, but it's definitely subversive.
This is one of my songs that splices William Blake onto Aleister Crowley.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to dedicate it to Robert Anton Wilson. Sign up with the rebel angels, cut a deal with the devil, you know.
Hold it. You're starting at the second verse.
Okay. It's a little warm in here. I'm a little fuzzy. Sign up with the rebel angels, learn to make doubt out of faith. You're never gonna gain that wisdom hiding in your fortress where it's safe. If you need a little light brought home, then set your sextant by the morning star. In the college of the rebel angels, you study the theft of the fire to learn about the God that you are. Sign up with the rebel angels, cut a deal with the devil, you know. Every time he drags you under, you bring back something precious from below. Drink down the wine made of that fruit that you were told you mustn't eat. In the college of the rebel angels, you study the scar and the shadow to learn about the light and the heat. There is no messenger of grace, no one will care. There is no messenger of grace. There is no sovereign and no throne. You are the only thing you own. Take off your garments and your face. Let go of flesh and blood and bone. You have to cross the gates alone. Sign up with the rebel angels. You've got to learn to dive deep. Every piece of treasure you have was stolen from the farther side of sleep. It takes a little practice to get used to coming back from the dead. In the college of the rebel angels, you study the hole in your heart to learn about the fire in your head. No force will save you from yourself. No one will carry you back home. You have to walk the road alone. You can't rely on someone else. You must learn nothing's carved in stone. You make your destiny your own. Sign up with the rebel angels. Look long and hard at what you are. When the doors of perception are cleansed, every man and woman is a star. Drink down the wine made of that fruit that knows the secrets of the age. In the college of the rebel angels, you study your fear of freedom to learn to break out of your cage. There is no messenger of grace. No force will save you from yourself. You are the only thing you own.
And now we're gonna get a little mellow, man.
With thanks to the Poxy Boggards, authors of Happy Jack's Undrinkable Ale.
Some hippies sing songs of biting political protest. How the government sucks, so don't trust anything that they say. But I'll sing a song of a dude that I met up in Frisco, who tested the deepest of lungs all over the bay. It was Happy Jack's unsmokable hash. One mighty puff knocks you flat on your ash. It was Happy Jack's unsmokable hash. My roommate once tried a bowl full of Jack's oily black stuff. He seemed alright, he stopped moving, but that was okay. 7 days later, he still hadn't shifted position, but he'd managed to eat all the food in the house anyway. It was Happy Jack's unsmokable hash. One mighty puff knocks you flat on your ash. It was Happy Jack's unsmokable hash. The stuff is as black as the soul of Richard M. Nixon. as dense as the fruitcake you got last year from Aunt May, as potent as a man who mistook his Viagra for chiclets. Of Jacks, the worldliest tokers will most surely say it was Hippie Jack's unsmokable hash. One mighty puff knocks you flat on your ash. It was Hippie Jack's unsmokable hash. I hung with a dude who had lungs like the Carlsbad Caverns. One half a lump put that toker right down on his rear. We watched every bone in his skeleton turn into jelly, and whatever gray matter he had ran out of his ears. It was Hippie Jack's unsmokable hash. One mighty puff knocks you flat on your ash. It was Hippie Jack's unsmokable hash. I walked through a room filled with smoke from Jack's distillation. I didn't inhale, so I thought that I was okay. I awoke with a vision of making this country much cooler, and that's how I got to be president of the US of A. It was Hippie Jack's unsmokable hash. One mighty puff knocks you flat on your ash. It was Hippie Jack's unsmokable hash. Hippie Jack's unsmokable hash. One mighty puff knocks you flat on your ash. It was Hippie Jack's unsmokable hash.
I get to sit down again.
You have never heard this one before. So we all know people whose love life is a train wreck. It's about a woman whose love life is a shipwreck. It's called You Can't Hang a Girl Born to Drown. Came a time and a place when the good heart's disgrace took a haul to the hull and the ship went down. In the surf and the sand she was lost with all hands, for you can't hang a girl who was born to drown. All my body is sure, love, I will wander no more, love. My bones will be coral, my eyes will be pearls. Oh, comb out my hair, love, I am free from all care, love, for I've worn out my heart in the dance of the light-footed summertime girls. I used to keep warm through the heart of the storm with a fire that consumed everything it kissed, and the lightning would crack till it burned my heart black, and I cannot remember a time it missed. Oh, close both my eyes, love, I will tell no more lies, love. Give back to the ocean all my treasures and toys. Oh, dig me a grave, love, I am too lost to save, love, for I've worn out my heart in pursuit of the light-footed summertime boys. So Some choose the sea for it makes them feel free, and some for its wonder and mystery. And some have no choice when we first hear its voice, and a captain goes down with her history. Oh, sing the dirge loud, love, but weave me no shroud, love. Put me into the earth, love, as bare as the day I was born. Oh, sing me to sleep, love, and bury me deep, love. For I've worn out my heart on the roses of summer and all of their thorns. All my body is sure, love, I'm free from all care, love. Oh, close both my eyes, love, won't you lay my body down? Oh, sing the dirge loud, love, and sing me to sleep, love. Won't you write on my gravestone, you can't hang a girl born to drown.
And here's a lovely, happy song about crushing poverty.
Now, is this a traditional, or do we know who wrote it?
The lyrics date from the mid-19th century. The tune is much older than that. In fact, you may recognize the tune as being the one played by the piccolo player in that scene from the Revolutionary War. You got the piccolo player and the drummer and the guy on crutches.
It's called the Waxies Dargle.
Yeah, I can always whistle in rehearsal, and I can't do it in performance. Says my old one to your old one, will you go to the Waxies Dargle? Says your old one to my old one, sure I haven't got a fargle. I went down to Monto Town for to see Uncle McCardle, but he would not lend me a half a crown for to go to the Waxies Dargle. What'll you have? Will you have a pint? I'll have a pint with you, sir. And if one of us doesn't order soon, we'll be tossed out of the boozer. Says my old one to your old one, will you go to the Galway races? Says your old one to my old one, well, I'll hawk me old man's braces. I beat feet to Chapel Street for to see the money lenders, but they would not give me a couple of bob for the old man's red suspenders. What'll you have? Will you have a pint? I'll have a pint with you, sir. And if one of us doesn't order soon, we'll be tossed out of the boozer. Says my old one to your old one, we've got no beef nor mutton. Said, but if we go down to Monto Town, we might get a drink for nothing. Here's a nice piece of advice I heard from an old fishmonger. When food is scarce and you see the hares, then you know you've died of hunger. What'll you have? Will you have a pint? I'll have a pint with you, sir. And if one of us doesn't order soon, we'll be tossed out of the boozer. Ah, screw it.
Early to mid-20th century singer-songwriter Sidney Carter, who wrote Lord of the Dance and a bunch of other songs that have since kind of become traditionals. He had a song about George Fox, the founding Quaker. And elements of that found their way into my other song about William Blake and Aleister Crowley. This is Church is Burning. We place no reliance on ghost or virgin. Our method is defiance, our aim is harder to define. We don't sell salvation, and we don't buy bullshit. We've got a map to the lost nation, but that's no guarantee of getting there. No guarantee of finding it, but we think it's worth the trip. Our kingdom came, we call it the world around us. There's power in a name, but there's power too in living life. We don't do pie in the sky, and we don't do perfection. We got a broken compass, but the road to wisdom always starts with wrong directions. Yes, the road to wisdom always starts with wrong directions. And we think it's worth the trip. We don't need daddy in the sky or babysitters wearing wings. The human heart's enough to light up everything. We don't need bells and steeples. We don't need books and keys. We don't need joy and wonder labeled a disease. We're not afraid of the dark. We think it's an excellent education. The shadow teaches how to be a vessel for the light. It's the discovery of fire. It's the discovery of writing. And if this breaks us, it's those cracks that let the light in. Yes, if this breaks us, it's those cracks that let the light in. And we think it's worth the price. We don't need priests and prisons. We don't need ranks and rules. We don't need shackles that we're told to wear like jewels. If it hurts like hell, we're still alive and learning. And we'll be dancing by the light of churches burning. Yes, we'll be dancing by the light of churches burning. We place no reliance on ghost or virgin. Our method is defiance, our aim is harder to define.
This is a Star Trek song I promised you, all sheep promised you guys. This is on my album, Dr. Captain Dovahkiin Chief. There were 3 drunken Klingons come from the sky one night. They drank from Monday morning, nor stopped till Saturday night. When Saturday night came round, me boys, they would not then go out. These 3 drunken Klingons, they pushed the jug about. Now here's Jedzia Dax, she's a slug with eyes of blue. Move up, me jolly Klingons, for I'm a Klingon too. And I will be your equal before that we go out. These 3 drunken Klingons, they push the jug about. There's Frisch, Rocket, Bud Pie, there's Heart of Targ and Goth. There's all sorts of tasty things that squirm and swim and walk. There's 40 barrels of blood wine, they've nearly drunk them out. These 4 drunken Klingons, they push the jug about. Now up comes a Ferengi, he's asking for his pay. It's a 40,000 credit bill these Klingons have to pay. And so they marched him to the airlock and neatly shoved him out. These 4 drunken Klingons, they push the jug about. The chief of engineering is feeling mighty blue. They've drunk the antimatter and all of the matter too. And where is the station? You Klingons brisk and gay. It's nowhere in the quadrant, we drank it clean away. It's okay, doggy. Really is. It's not the end of the world.
Seemed to work. Capo.
This is an old classic, but we had to transpose it to another key because it was written in a range I could sing in my 20s. The circle of the world shines bright and holy. The seasons tread their spiral path with grace. It is not the world's designer, but the world herself we honor, and the stars shine bright across Our Lady's face. But the world might end, and the stars might fall, still her light will be laughing at the heart of it all. She is in each force, with strangeness and charm, and the holographic universe is enfolded in her arms. Our Lady is non-local, sing we her praise. She is the hidden variable that lights our days. With book and with candle, with girdle and bell, with wave and with particle, we worship her well. Our Lady is uncertain, sing we in prayer. We don't know how fast she may be moving and where. With koan and theorem, with Polly and Born, we open her mysteries and inside we find more. And the world might end, and the stars might fall, still her light will be laughing at the heart of it all. She is in each force, with strangeness and charm, and the holographic universe is enfolded in her arms. Our Lady is a causal work, we her math. Her field equations are a bitch and a half, with implicate order and synchronous net. She weaves riddles so fine that we can't unravel them yet. And the world might end, and the stars might fall, still her light will be laughing at the heart of it all. She is in each force, with strangeness and charm, and the holographic universe is enfolded in her arms. Now it's pushing my bottom range. I gotta concentrate. Oh, this one.
Not a piratey song, but an Irish song.
It's called drinking, isn't it?
There's a place in this town where I can be found when there ain't any room at the pub. It's the place I love best when I'm sad or depressed and I'm craving some Far Eastern grub. They have spicy corned beef and fresh cabbage leaf and veggies familiar and odd. Though it's owned by a Hun, he's loved by everyone. When he cooks, we can't help but applaud. He's a good Irish man from a faraway land, and how he got his name I've no clue. But his food is the best from the east to the west at O'Brien's Mongolian barbecue. My friends all arrive at 5:15. If I'm late, they'll save me a seat. Then we take up our bowls and we pile them up full of noodles and veggies and meat. But then O'Brien, he stands with his 2 magic wands at his circular griddle and chants. We don't know what he does, but we don't care because the result makes us get up and dance. He's a good Irish man from a faraway land, and how he got his name I've no clue. But his food is the best from the east to the west at O'Brien's Mongolian barbecue. So come to O'Brien's, you'll see I'm not lying. It's the strangest place you've ever seen. For it's shaped like a yurt, and the floor is bare dirt, and it's all decorated in green. But the best part of all, you can get alcohol. The kumis flows potent and clear. It'll get you so pissed you won't know what you've missed. But for Paddy's sake, don't drink the beer. He's a good Irish man from a faraway land, and how he got his name I've no clue. But his food is the best from the east to the west at O'Brien's Mongolian barbecue. He's a good Irish man from a faraway land. His stuff's better than Mum's Irish stew. So we'll drink to his fortune as he serves us our portion of O'Brien's Mongolian barbecue. Thank you. You'll also find that one on Dr. Captain Dovahkiin Chief.
That's another shiny, happy, geeky song about romantic love.
But, well, yeah, okay.
This love life isn't a...
Subtext. Deep subtext.
This love life isn't a train wreck. It's a Tesla coil and a Mythbusters explosion and mutually assured destruction from an 80s movie. This is Chambers of a Heart. Supersaturate the fluid and drop in a single grain and watch the crystals bloom into the chambers of a heart. The first and last and greatest thing that teaches us is pain, and we only learn how something works by taking it apart. I do not want to be the puppet of my fear and hunger. I do not want to live this life entangled in my shame. I want to cut the cords that bind me to what drags me under. I want to learn to walk away and not drop in that grain. Disperse the right particulates and strike a single spark and watch the flames explode into the chambers of a heart. We seek the light by crawling sick and bleeding through the dark. The first and last and surest way to stop is not to start. I do not want to be the puppet puppet of my love and anger. I do not want to live the kind of life that makes good art. I want to shed this skin with all its needle tracks of wonder. I want to learn to walk away and not strike up that spark. It promises us heaven, but delivers us addiction. We dream about more heat and light than we can get from friction. It sings to us of glory, but its kiss is demolition. We long for signal, but there's only noise, only noise, only noise. Join inductor to capacitor, make current from a field, and watch the lightning arc into the chambers of a heart. We burn ourselves to ashes for an insufficient yield. The needle's in the red and all the lines are off the charts. I do not want to see my life devoured by that vortex. The first and last and only way to win is not to play. I do not want to be the puppet of my limbic cortex. I want to learn to not want what I want, so I can walk away. It promises us heaven, but delivers us addiction. We dream about more heat and light than we can get from friction. It sings to us of glory, but its kiss is demolition. We long for signal, but there's only noise, only noise, only noise.
The particular Mythbusters experiment is the one where they blew the coffee creamer into the air and lit a road flare to create the fireball. One of the slow motion cameras was on Tori, Grant, and Carrie, and you can see, as the thing is happening, you can see them do this. In an interview later, Tori Belleci said, "Yeah, I was pretty sure that that was going to be the one that did me in. The thought running through my brain is that, yep, this is the experiment that kills me. Our insurance company will never fund another episode." This is a sing-along. Jane, the man they call Jane. He robbed from the rich and he gave to the poor. He stood up to the man and he gave them what for. Our love for him now is not hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they call Jane. Jane saw the mutters' backs breaking. Jane saw the mutters lament. Jane saw the magistrates taking every dollar and leaving 5 cents. And he said, "You can't do that to my people. You can't crush them beneath your heel." He strapped on his hat, and in 5 seconds flat, he stole everything Boss Higgins had to steal. He robbed from the rich, and he gave to the poor. He stood up to the man, and he gave him what for. Our love for him now is not hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they call Jane. This is what separates heroes from common folk like you and I. The man they call Jane, he turned around his plane and he let that money hit sky. He dropped it onto our houses, he dropped it into our yards. The man they called Jane, he took away our pain, and then he took off for the stars. He rose from the rich and he gave to the poor. He stood up to the man and he gave him what for. Our love for him now is not hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they call Jane. Oh, our love for him now is not hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they call Jane. Okay, I'm gonna put I almost said I'm gonna put the computer. I'm tired. Although I'm not as tired as my friend on Facebook this morning who posted that she read the name of a very famous news website as the Hufflepuff Post.
That could be better.
Founded, of course, by Andrea Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
Add your news all the way.
What I have to wonder is the Hufflepuffs are generally portrayed as being like, you know, the commoners and everything. It's like their symbol is the badger. Badgers are motherfucking evil bastards. They will tear your face off as soon as look at you.
Yeah. But we're
Get
cute.
it right, guys.
But we're cute. That's the point.
That's the point.
They're cute and fuzzy and underestimated.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh.
This was inspired by an occultist I knew who drank a little too much of the Crowley Kool-Aid.
Just a little bit.
This is Every Action Loves a Reactor. Don't talk about beasts. I already know your number. It's a fraction of a factor. Every action loves a reactor. Don't talk about signs. I already know your symbol. It's a sigil of synthesis, and everything comes right down to this. Every action loves a reactor, hungry for attention. Every action loves a reactor, the sweetest addiction. Every action loves a reactor, in the final reduction. Don't talk about numbers, I know your factor. Don't talk about beasts. I already know your number. It's a section of a vector. Every action loves a reactor. Don't talk about, well, I already know your weakness. A flaw deep in the foundation. A failure of separation. Every action loves a reactor. It's the best distraction. Every action loves a reactor, no need for volition. Every action loves a reactor, spread out for dissection. Don't talk about numbers, I know your vector. Don't talk about beasts, I already know your number. It's a fraction of a factor. Every action loves a reactor. Don't talk about scars, I already know your suture. It's a structure of cicatrice, bound up too tight to be released. A flaw deep in the foundation, a sigil of synthesis, a failure of separation, and everything comes right down to this. Every action loves a reactor, it's a kind of solution. Don't talk about beasts, I will not sit down at your feast. Every action loves a reactor, loves a reactor, loves a reactor. Transpose it, because it's still low for me.
Okay, well, maybe.
Oh,
You can't transpose it too much, otherwise I won't be able to sing it.
Yeah, you can drop your partner out too.
That's my Tasmanian devil impersonation.
Alright.
I gotta sit this one out.
Okay.
Well, y'all can join me on this one instead. This is the song that got me mentioned on Whedon-esque. That's odd, it starts with the train job, chains of slob, and oh my god, all the girls are smoking hot. I'll begin my bunk. I am a floating leaf, listen to the wind swirl, verse serves its own needs, regardless of your own needs. Fly us, Mr. Wash, please, Jane, go sit down. River's been delivered in a coffin-sized airtight. Why do we conspire? Why do we? Oh boy. There we go. Why do we conspire? The alliance is engaged in a government desire to control your life. Miranda's where we're going in a fever with the reavers breathing down our necks. Creeping by on minimal power, keep fingers crossed, look at all those ships. Gore, ram, uh-oh, here we go. Populations littering the city streets. Move your feet, deadbeat. Verse serves its own needs. Reavers hit your heartbeat. Verity, the rapture, and the Armageddon. Now, oh, here we're vitriolic, hyperbolic, 15% alcoholic heroes. Damn big, it's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it, and I feel fine. Simon Tam, he's a surgeon, got a lot of book learning, don't know how to talk to girls, listens to the wind swirl. Here's a guy in uniform, a book burning black man, and every man a reprobate, working for the police state, in a battle in the valley, beat down, watching bombs crush, uh-oh, this means no staff, golden calf, a renegade spacecraft, turning our misfortune into private enterprise. Offer me a bounty, offer me protection, I despise your lies. It's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it, and I feel fine. The other night we tripped across cargo that we couldn't toss, so we had to take a loss. What the hell, Joss? Running from mobsters, river kills the monsters, gets the girl, oh damn special hell, boom! We're idiotic, histrionic, big damn heroes, right? Right! It's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it, and I feel fine. of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it. And I feel fine. It's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it. It's the end of the verse as we know it, and I feel fine. Yeah.
We can finish the set.
Yeah, let's finish the set. Now we are going to finish the set, not with a piratey song, but with a song that, if everyone in the audience doesn't already know it, we have not been doing our job.
In the streets of a northern city, in a used bookstore, an espresso bar, somebody looked at me with coyote's eyes, playing an acoustic guitar. He said, "Follow me, woman, I'll need your hands and I'll need your voice and your old guitar. There's a party tonight down at grandmother's place. You won't really have to go too far. Just over the freeway and through the smog. Follow Buffalo Soldier and Blackfoot Dog. The fire in your head lights up your face. So come on down to grandmother's place." Chasing us all down the yellow brick road till we came to a door in the earth that glowed. A voice said, "Granddaughter, lay down your load and come on in and have a beer." Well, Jesus was drunk and Muhammad was stoned. Gautama hallucinates all on his own. Confucius was off in the corner alone saying, "What the hell's going on here?" And the Sufis were teaching the shit how to twist and shout. Asherah threw Yahweh into the pool. Inanna was taking Persephone down to the basement to reminisce. And Lilith and Vashti were chosen the queens of misrule. Just over the barbed wire and through the wall, 'cause grandmother's lodge can hold us all. The fire in your head lights up your face. So come on down to grandmother's place. Pan and Gabriel were blowing their horns while I tried on somebody's crown of thorns. And I got as drunk as the day I was born, but somehow I was still up and walking. The serpent was telling old tales to the goat, while Menon and Amun-Re were talking about boats. And Mescalito was taking notes, while Our Lady Sophia was talking. Isis and Mary were bitching about their uppity sons. The band played loud enough to wake up most of the dead. Connie was giving Susanna suggestions on what she could do to the elders. And Judith and Salome were making bad double entendres about giving head. Just over the river and through the woods, where the food is loud and the music's good. The fire in your head lights up your face. So come on down to grandmother's place.
Thank you all very much.
Come back third Saturday in October for a show full of gods and monsters.
Yes, that is the third Saturday, the 21st, which comes right before the fourth Sunday of October, because October begins on a Sunday this year. So yes, the 21st of October, we will do our monster-filled set. And yeah, that one's going to be a fun one.
Please put something in the tip jar. It's how we pay the sound
man. Yes, and and also, I am within a month and a half, hopefully, of releasing the next album entitled Heroes. Some old favorites are on it. Some new ones that maybe you haven't heard yet are on it. And I've got a couple of songs that were written by other people that I may have played in front of you before, or I may not have. It features this woman right here singing the King in Outremer. Yeah, it's been about, what, 15 years since we performed that song?
I have to say, it is one of the most kick-ass Robin Hood songs ever.
It really is. It really is. All right, good night, everybody.
Good night, thank you. Evan.
Oh, thank you. Am I down? Oh, yes, thank you.
We are pretty much done.
Hello, goodbye.
I don't want to make us walk.
You don't want me to just drive you over there?
Oh, yes, thank you. That would have been a disaster.